Abushama sanso amamo akawabio ede abanimde news mijiri so bara dumiti oye na ho ede na news update a insaka na yede ebro abusofo eye Okoe oye health minister ewo Ghana Dr. Okoe ene betimi ayade bi amagana fo ani ajen huye pa na nyina ne say we issue a 2-week ultimatum for the release of stuck drugs at the airport. Just say and it is some kakra edema Ghana fo nyina na abusofo yebakwa kuti nsema odeto akwamu and aso odeto kontembra na okasa ne tinati e honti ase after say this issue was yet me ebeta bonti didn't be and na oye esanso e de afan yenko na enkuti.
Now Dr. Okoe, when you were a squatting minister or squatter minister, this issue came up. You were here, and then this issue came up. I think that's when you had just gone through your vetting or something. And you told us that there were some meetings that you were privy to and things were going to be sorted out. We later on were informed that the things have been cleared. Only to hear in the last 48 hours that it is indeed not so, and that parts were cleared and parts were there. For the average Ghanaian, when he hears, or not the average Ghanaian, for any Ghanaian, when he hears that we've gone cap in hand to go and beg others to help us with medication, and they have sent this medication to us, and these medications have been at the port for over a year. I mean, what does it say about us, about this government? What does it say?
Look, first of all, let me say that some years back, I would attend to issues that are very important with a lot of emotional, how do you call it, orientation or approach. But over the years, I have learned that what your heart can beat over, if the mind handles it, it can be solved without you having palpitations or a higher heart rate. So I'll give my brother advice.
You learned that in medical school?
Over the year, it comes with experience. So there are things I used to make noise about, or I would approach very emotionally. But I've come to learn that the mind can do better than the heart. So I'll beg of him. And you see, in communication too, if I had spoken first in terms of the issues for the day, and I had not addressed this in a way that shows that I'm concerned, it was okay to go like this. But you came prepared and unleashed everything on the table, creating the impression that I've gone to sleep on the matter, when I've not even given information yet on what I have done about it.
The facts are very annoying.
Oh, I know. Of course, I'm privy to the facts. You know. But what I want to quickly say is that there was an issue he finished with at the bottom. I'll bring that up. Where he said he cares about his pregnant women, and me, I'm talking about people who travel. Of course. I mean, I brought businessmen together to buy a new ambulance at about $90,000. I did it because I've seen pregnant women struggle to even get transferred to reach. So action is more powerful. So, I mean, that's the kind of person I am. I've not lost any part of my heart in this politics. Doc, let me start by saying that the PRO's information is not accurate, and it's not to undermine his work, but it's because in dealing with this container thing, it is dynamic. So you have containers at the ports. You go to finance, they'll tell you, okay, take these cheats. These cheats will now allow you to clear 80 containers. You get there, they'll tell you there's third-party charges. And so the information I have is because the release has not gone out yet. Otherwise, I have the draft here. I left the office yesterday at about 11, just to make sure that all the information and draft is ready to go out this morning. It's not too appropriate, but I'll send you the draft. It has all the information. So apparently on the 10th of June, Finance sent the ministry 7.4 million Ghana cedis.
3 days ago.
Yes. Transferred money, which was meant to handle the third-party charges, which even if they've given the exemption, must be paid. And so when I called them 2 days ago. What they told me was that, Doc, although the money has come, government has a give me system that used to pay for such things. You can't go and say take the money. And that when they called, they are told give me is down or that, and that by the end of this week, that's why the gentleman mentioned that the TB container is cleared. In fact, the draft that will come out, the containers that contain medicines are 3. 2 anti-malaria, ACT, that's artemisinin combination for malaria, 2 containers. 1 is the TB. And guess what? This 7.4 million is meant to clear those ones. So although the money has been given to us, it's not gone through for it to come out of the port. So if George says that they are at the port, it is true. And if the gentleman says that there's no TB at the TB container, his anticipation, this payment thing has not gone through yet. But Doc, I'll say 2 things, 2 very important things. We, as a ministry, I insist, we are better than what we have experienced with these containers.
I don't understand what you're saying.
The Ministry of Health, in terms of the personnel there, and the potential the ministry have for Ghana, Ghana's Ministry of Health, is way better in terms of capacity than what it has witnessed over the past 1 year with these containers. What I mean is that we could have done better.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I'm not someone who plays around with my work. So, straight away, I've told in fact, when I was not even there, I called some of them and told them, this joke that is happening, you guys should wake up. I was not happy with what is happening. You know what I mean? 2 things accounted for what was experienced. Of course, if leadership was perfect, this shouldn't have happened. I choose my words well. So, I myself personally have a serious problem with what we've seen. There was inefficiency. There's a unit that handles our external partners when it comes to things that they are bringing to this country and all that. I do admit that this exemption bill put some layer of some previously that layer was not there. Things that used to pass through freely now had to be paid for. But it's not too much of an excuse. Even if the layer is there, like George was saying, there are motions you can trigger to make sure that these things come. So the unit that was handling our relationship with our partners, Global Fund, Gavi and all that, immediately arrived. Within 48 hours, the key person there is gone. Without delay, I told the chief director, this guy has no business here. So he's gone. If you check with the ministry, the one who is the obodo there is gone. For the past 7 years, that's the gentleman that was in charge of the place. I told him this is cannot be tolerated. And then secondly, the other issue. So 2 issues accounted for what has happened. No. The relationship between the finance ministry and the Ministry of Health could be way better. You know what I mean? That's the way I work. Everywhere I go, I'm frank. I tell all my people, these are your challenges. If you don't admit them, you can't go anywhere. No. The truth is that because sometimes there are third-party charges that must come in, which are not necessarily budgeted for in our line. Sometimes they come up even in the process. The best way to get solution quickly is to have a very harmless seamless relationship with the finance minister. And when I was in Geneva a few weeks ago, the Global Fund head, Mark, he told me, Doc, your country is one of the poster countries when it comes to health indicators. In all the indicators and primary health systems, we use you as an example for others. They just cannot understand how Ghana, who they always put out there as an example, has gone through what we've gone through. And even cited Nigeria and said he was with the Nigerian Minister of Health. He virtually handles these there. If any issue comes up online with IT such that he resolves issues within 72 hours. And I confided in him that before I even came to Geneva, some of the people handling these matters, we've tried to quickly relocate them. And he told me that, Doc, even their team in Ghana, the relationship between their team and our team has not been smooth. And I told you, I've been at the ministry before. So luckily, I have an idea. That's why I made changes before even coming to Geneva. And this was my assurance to him, that there's absolutely no way I would sit in this country and let this container stay in the port beyond June. This month, they must come out. And what did I say beyond June? If I had my own way this morning, or 3 days ago, I arrived in town Saturday. Doc. No, in fact, Friday late evening. Because from Geneva, just this Friday late evening. Monday, I told my team to get ready. Tuesday, we are going to finance ministry. I spent 2 hours at the finance ministry with the chief director, Madam Eva Mens. You know what I told my team? That's how I work. Ideally, you think I'll be sitting with Amin. I have an idea of those who handle departments and make things move. Amin is at the top. Whatever you tell him, he will sit with her chief director to move things. And they were shocked that I'm going to say, they said, why I want to meet the minister? I said, these are the people who get you results in days or hours. And when Eva said, look, Doc, who are your people dealing with? The name they mentioned, fine, the fellow is appropriate. But there's a higher officer who, according to Eva, should do these things in hours. I told them, this is how you do the work. I went with them. We spent time with Eva. Yesterday was Wednesday. I met with the Global Fund team. They didn't go back on many issues. I told them, I know most of the issues. It's not like we are perfect. We have serious issues in-house. And we talked about how to quickly bring people with the capacity, build capacity of those are people there. And in fact, one of the things the gentleman in Geneva said he was sad about is that there's even the communication between them and us is not frequent or regular. Look, you know what I mean? So this a unit or ministry that had issues, and I have moved to solve the issues appropriately. I would have driven my car, arrived Friday night, Saturday to port. If it's about muzzle or it's about fiscal strength, but this is a country where even if you mean well now, if they tell you it takes 1 day for give me to work, I have to wait for that 24 hours for the containers to come out. So my brother should be assured I'm not a callous. One thing I would never let go. In fact, that's what got me into politics, Doc. What got me into politics is protecting the vulnerable. And anywhere I've worked, if you ask, I make sure that those who don't have a voice, they are giving that particular backing and support. So please, it is unconscionable that drugs meant for our people will stay at the port for a year. We could have done way better than that. But I want to assure him that I don't take excuses. I was with Eva Mens 2 days ago. Monday, God willing, I'll go and check with her. If we have about 2 weeks to the end of the month, if in a week or two, we don't, any of these containers are left there, I will go to the port and stop at the container and tell them that if they don't take it out, then I'm with them at the port. So please, as for me, that's the way I do my work. I'm not the kind who can be, stymied or giving excuses of bureaucracy. I've given myself and the state 2 weeks. If in 2 weeks it doesn't come, the GRA woman cannot have peace in the office. In fact, she cannot sit in that office. Amin and Eva cannot sit in the office. That's the way I work, Doc. And to hell with whatever anybody thinks. If those containers don't come out by 2 weeks' time, Joba told me a port. You know, so, and look, you'll be shocked. But this country is a system. It's not like it's the politician who's insensitive. Maybe because we've not been perfect, maybe there's some level. You will meet public officers, civil servants who are in this chain, talking we about this things and what? Okay, take your time and give you a excuse. That's why I said, I told the Global Fund guy that within this month, these containers will come out of the port. And if the month is about to end and they are there, you will not meet me in my office. I'll be sitting at the port until they come out. They are giving excuses of bureaucracy and all that money. We are doing what we can to get it out. And I don't want to sound like what's the word? Like a communist or like a Mokoniya Basabasa.
No, you're pointing at me as a communist?
No, it's just my hands, you know.
No, gesticulation gone wrong.
Exactly. This one series of brother is crude, like a Basabasa. So that's why I'm going through the motions. But Doc, it's annoying. That's the word. These things being at the port.
So let me ask you something. What's the total value of all these Global Fund medications they sent to us? Do you have an idea?
Oh, we have the figures. The release will state the details. But of course, they are in the tens of millions of dollars.
Of dollars?
You know, yes.
Okay. Can I help with that? I hear that this particular consignment is 45 million. But since 2002, when the Global Fund started, we've done 1.2 billion.
Oh, no,
I'm even referring to...
But this particular one, 45 million.
Not this one. The ones that were cleared... You know,
they cleared some 18.
April.
Yes, in 18.
So that plus this, what would be the value?
Oh, the ones that have come out. Oh, Doc, I think even, forgive me, but trying to find a value of what has come out.
Do you know why I'm asking that question? I want to juxtapose that against the value of medications that the Ministry of Health and its agencies have procured.
Yes.
For this year alone.
No, I get you. But you see, Doc, like I said,
look, this is the same ministry that went to give money under COVID.
Yeah.
This is the same ministry. I'm told that within WHO that we have money with them.
Yes.
And
the vaccines.
Yeah, there's some monies.
The
the monies are there. and we don't even have the vaccines. It appears that we have not been even chasing them and all that. And then we are the same country that went asking, begging for these medications. And the medications come, and for the year, I mean, Edwige says I should ask you about the efficacy of the medications because of the period that they've been at the port and all that. I mean, Okoe, it is probably only in Ghana that this will happen.
Yes. And
people will still have a job.
But someone even suggested that those who were heading that unit deserve even more than relocation in terms of what should happen to them.
I will even go beyond there because these are issues that even go beyond. Yes, a unit has maybe some operational responsibilities, but this issue of Gavi, and I'm saying that these are issues that have come into the public domain. I don't work at the ministry, yet I have been apprised with all the issues around this. So what about those who work there, superintend over the place and all that? I don't want to pitch you against predecessors and all that. But obviously, this is
Manchani, you know,